Good morning, everyone. So, we are almost coming to an end of this book, and for this one more week, we will be reading a bit about how you can heal your own life. And past one week, we have been talking about how our thoughts affect different body parts. And today, we continue with a small portion again, which talks about arthritis. Now, arthritis is a disease that comes from constant pattern of criticism. First of all, criticism of self and then criticism of other people. So, arthritic people often attract a lot of criticism because it is their pattern to criticize. So, the people who criticize a lot are the ones who catch this, they are prone to catch this. They are cursed with perfection and the need to be perfect all the time in every situation. So, do you know anyone on the planet who is perfect? I do not. Why do we set up standards that say we have to be super person in order to be barely acceptable? It's such a strong expression of not being good enough and such a heavy burden to carry. So basically, if you see, as we talk about this new disease, that is arthritis, is caused because of constant criticism. When you believe to be in the trap of perfectionism. Now, that is again a big myth. So, now this criticism is connected with self and it is also criticizing other people. If you are trapped in that loop, you have to check your thoughts to not be badly affected but with any kind of dis-ease later, especially like this. Let's go to another one, asthma. We call smother love. There is a feeling that you do not have the right to breathe for yourself. Asthmatic children often have overdeveloped conscience. They take on guilt feeling for whatever seems wrong in their environment. So people who are trapped in guilt are the ones who catch this kind of ailment. They feel unworthy, therefore guilty, and in need of self punishment. So, somehow, if we feel that we don't understand that how these ailments are connected with our thoughts, but if we go deep down, we will realize that that could be one of the reasons. If there is no major reason for a person to get trapped in any kind of disease, that means there is the thought pattern which is impacting very badly. Now, geographic cures sometimes work with asthma, especially if the family does not go along. Usually, asthmatic children will outgrow their disease. This really means they go away to school, get married, and or leave home somehow, and the disease dissolves. So that means environment is also playing a role here. That means if you are trapped in an environment where you are bound to feel guilty most of the time, but when there is a shift in the change and you start getting what your heart really desires, you might get release from this kind of, or maybe the severity reduces. So, oftentimes later in life, an experience will happen that pushes an old button within them and they have another attack. When that happens, they are not really responding to the current circumstances, but rather to what used to go on in their childhood. So, again, this is another one form of ailment which can be cured mindfully if we focus on it. Maybe the intensity reduces, maybe it doesn't go 100%, but frequent attacks may be controlled. Now, there is something which is common, which we see especially in the summertime, that is boils and burns, cuts, fevers, sores, or inflammations are also there. Now, all are indications of anger expression, anger which is expressing in the body. So, something which is boiling inside, the heat inside your body is generated to such a level that it comes out in any of these forms. Boils and burns, fevers, sores, inflammation is one thing. So anger will find its way to express no matter how much we try to suppress it. Because this is one emotion, normally it is expressed instantly. But when it is suppressed, that is even more dangerous. Like we try to control so that we don't aggravate the situation, but still, if the feeling is inside you, that anger is boiling inside, though you are not expressing, it's even more harmful. So that's how it takes shape. Stem that is built up must be released. We fear our anger, lest we destroy our world. Yet anger can be released as simply as saying, I'm angry about this. So expressing your emotions, that's why we called it as anger management. If someone who is dealing with this emotion strongly, expressing it in adverse way will impact your outer environment. You might get relief from inside because you have expressed, but it might disturb the environment around. So that's why it is called as anger management, to manage your anger. This is an emotion which needs to be expressed, but how, that needs to be learned. Because if you go exclusively on a higher note, it might disturb the people around, the surrounding and environment, and maybe create more difficulty. So, and if you suppress, that also becomes a problem. So there has to be a midway to manage this kind of an emotion. So just by saying I'm angry about this, it actually you acknowledge it. Very important. You are not ignoring your emotion. You are acknowledging it is again one more way of mildly handling your emotion. We can't always say this to our bosses. Yes, this statement we cannot put in front of them. So we can, however, beat the bed or scream in the car or maybe play some external game, the game where you are like something like tennis, something the games where you need to run and just with aggression you need to just burst out what is boiling in. So there are ways how you can control or manage it, because it might be possible in every situation you cannot express it the way you want. It depends and situation to situation. So we can, however, as I said, you can beat the bed, you can scream in the car or a closed room. So these are harmless ways of physically releasing the anger. Even people, what they do is they put pillow on their face and they try to scream so that they don't want others to be disturbed. These are ways to do that. And this expression needs to come out. Spiritual people often believe they shouldn't get angry. That's true. We are all working towards a time when we no longer blame others for our feelings. But until we arrive there, it is healthier to acknowledge what we do feel in the moment. So, expressing, acknowledging the emotion is very important. Whichever emotion it is it the emotion of happiness, excitement, anger? But how to manage any emotion is how we have to understand. So now there is something also called as that extreme form of self-hatred, which is termed as anorexia. It is bulimia. This is a typical name given to it. And people who deny self-life, an extreme form of self hatred, is also one of the issues. Now, food is nourishment on the most basic level. Why would you deny yourself nourishment? Why do you want to die? What is going on in your life and is so awful that you want to get out of it completely? So self hatred is only hating a thought that you have about yourself. Thoughts can be changed. So this self hatred which we build inside is again connected to a thought, and anything which is connected to thought, it can be reframed easily. So what is so terrible about you? Were you reared in a critical family? Did you have critical teachers? Did your early religious training tell you that you were not good enough? So often we try to find reasons that make sense to us for why we are not loved and accepted just the way we are. Because of the because of in today's world, fashion industry's obsession with being women being slim and trim, who have as their main messages, I'm not good enough. So what's the use? So this you find more in the fashion industry or maybe where they are connected with being public figures. Will use their um, bodies as a focal point for self-hatred. On one level, they are saying if I were only thin enough, then they would have loved themselves. But it doesn't work. Nothing works from the outside. Self approval and acceptance are the key. So now, here again, self worth, self love, accepting your body the way it is. Again, one more sign that you don't get trapped in any of the diseases. So, here we pause for today's first segment. We will be reading again. There are two, three things which we need to focus on. Maybe within a day or two, this book will come to an end. And now we move on to the second segment of the day.
Good morning, everyone. So today we'll be going for guided meditation, again focusing on our body parts, how it is connected to our thought process. So in the meditation, we will be focusing on this part. So we start sitting in comfortable position with your spine straight and eyes closed. And now your focus is on your breathing. Take a deep breath in, hold for a moment, and slowly exhale. As you breathe in, you take a deep exhale. And as you breathe out, you are exhaling the tension. Allow your breathing to become natural and effortless. And today, simply become aware of your body. Just bring your attention to the top of your head. Notice your forehead, your eyes, your jaw, your cheeks, and relax every muscle. Now, move your awareness to your neck and shoulders. If you're holding and stress here, gently release it. And say, I release all the tension. I choose peace. Now, feel your heart beating peacefully through every moment of your life. It's your sound from your heart and say, thank you, my heart, for supporting me every day. Now, bring your awareness your abdomen and every cell that silently works for your well-being. Then move down to the legs, knees, and feet. In your entire body, your body has carried you every experience of life. You say to your body, my body is my home. I honor it. I love it. I trust it. And imagine your entire body is surrounded by a beautiful golden light. And this light brings love, healing, and harmony to every cell, every tissue, every organ. Just be here in this loving space for a few moments and say to yourself, I lovingly my body, my body lovingly responds with health and vitality. I nourish my body with
Happiness
loving
a lot.
thoughts
Around 98% of people out there
every moment. And now take a deep breath in, slowly exhale, and whenever you feel ready, try to come back to the present moment. Slowly wiggle your toes and fingers, rub your palms, keep it on your eyes and face, and slowly open your eyes. So, with this, we'll move on to our next segment.
Yeah. So as we move on to the last segment, and today it's the day to write affirmations. So we are going to create affirmations which are going to give us strength to face our physical challenges by reframing our mind. So I'll be sharing my document here, and you get ready with your notepads, with your pen. I'm just opening it here. Again, there are so many changes. Whiteboard. Okay, here it comes. So when we start writing affirmations for our, when we start writing affirmations for our physical body. Most important is I try training my brain to make it feel happy and healthy. So, as we discussed, that the first and most important thing is that I acknowledge my emotions, because ignoring and suppressing both are dangerous. So, to start in the same manner, I acknowledge every emotion that rises within me. This you keep on repeating because you want to accept that emotion which is going on. You're not ignoring it. And this should be taught to the kids also, that how they can express their emotions and they actually acknowledge it, not suppress. It's normally people say don't feel angry, gussa nahi karna hai. It's not like that. It's one of the emotions we need to express, because suppression will lead to some kind of uncomfortable situation or dis-ease later. Now, once you acknowledge, you remind yourself that I'm no longer suppressing my emotions, that goes mentally in your mind. So, why you are doing it? Because you want to appreciate your body. So, I appreciate my body for everything it does for me. Whatever your body is doing, it is giving you sign, any signal, and it is whatever, however it is feeling, I'm appreciating my body, because this is all about how you feel good in your own space for everything it does for me. So, first and foremost, important is to acknowledge and then appreciating the way it is. If you remember, we have read about something where this self trust is very important. That self love is very important, and acknowledging that, yes, this is how I feel for my body, and I believe that whatever it is doing best for me. So, that is one more way. Another is once you start appreciating, you build that trust, because your body is accepting your mind and your mind is also accepting your body. So I trust this healing process when, even when progress feels slow. So you are trusting. This trust is important when you start healing inside. So I trust the healing process, because here you are healing yourself with your mind. It's not that medicine treatment which you are taking, it's like within this mind space you are trying to heal yourself. So I trust that healing. Then only it will show some result. And when you trust it, when the progress is not very clearly visible, it is a slow progress, but still it is on. So you believe that it's okay, that even if it is a slow progress. Now, in this process, again, one more very important factor which we talk about frequently is letting go. I let go of what I cannot control, something which is beyond you, beyond your capacity. It's better to release it from your system. So I let go of something, or maybe it's simple as I let go of what I cannot control. It can be as simple also. I cannot control. Because this will help you to release unwanted toxicity building inside. Because this toxicity from your mind, it is now getting transferred to your body. And the area which is sensitive in your body space, it will start affecting. The problem because of which you are suffering inside, connected with emotions, will start showing up in some form. So if you are too much worried about things and you build up a lot of stress, you will see signs of dis-ease in your stomach and related areas. So to avoid that, you start letting go. And last, very important, very simple, but extremely important, that what you choose. I choose peace over my pain. That pain of that suffering in my body, I choose peace over pain. This you have to remind yourself that why are you doing it? Because you choose to do that, and you believe that that suffering, that pain is not worthy enough. That a cost which I'm paying to hurt my body and see drastic uh, discomfort is not good enough for me to believe in that mind which I'm living in. So I'm changing it. And this affirmation setting is one of the ways in which you can definitely try to rewire your brain. So that's why we normally give you a stepwise affirmation set, so that from basic till what you really do. So you decide in whichever space you are. Whether you are in the space of denial, start repeating, I acknowledge every emotion. If you are already in that space, start appreciating your body. If you are accepting and appreciating your body, then healing will be faster. But in that healing process, you need to have trust, which is again very, very important. If you trust also, what will block your entire process is if you will not let go of that control which you want to have. So I let go of things which I can't control. And last but not the least, you are doing everything, making a choice because you want to be in peace, not in pain. So this is for you. This is for no one else. You are not benefiting anyone. Others will be benefited. That is a byproduct of the whole thing. But initially, in your head, you are doing only for yourself. So I will be sharing this set of affirmations again in the group. You all can go back and check if you have missed to write. You can create your own something which you would like to build in your own space. So we continue reading this book tomorrow, and within a day, this will come to an end. But yes, I'm sure that you would all be understanding that how your thought has impacted our body. So let's start working for the betterment of our own space. Thank you so much. Have a great positive day. We meet again tomorrow, same time, same place.